Oh yeah.
Oh, hey. All right.
Hey Tom, can you try again?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
I've been here.
Oh yeah, you've been here. We've been messing everything up. All right, so
Someone get Scott.
yeah. All right, so everyone.
Scott Puppet, where are you?
So everyone at home, we've got Tom Taylorson. Scott, he is the voice of Scott Ryder from Mass Effect Andromeda. Tom, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're
Okay?
we're doing all right.
We're surviving.
Yeah, you know, a little tired.
A bunch of gross jelly beans, but you know.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. Did you watch all the jelly bean eating?
I did. I just said I tuned in just before calling in, so I saw all of that.
Lucky you.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. You know, we put it on the schedule, so we.
For the children.
Yeah.
Children.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Good.
So we have a bunch of questions from chat, but I wanted to kind of start off with and talk about like how long have you been an actor? How long have you been going through and you know being an actor, and also like how long have you been specifically doing voice acting?
Okay. The acting thing started when I was a kid, and I came out of university and started going, and that's been a long time now. So voice acting happened very soon thereafter. I was in a show with a friend of mine who got me in touch with her agency, and they put me on a voiceover audition, and it was my first audition, and I booked the job. And
Nice.
it wound up being actually for a video game. I was really lucky.
Which video game was it for?
Dao Feng, the Fist of Lotus. It was the first fighting game on the original, How's a Small Family Xbox.
Oh, I remember that game. I don't
Yeah.
I don't remember any of the characters, but I remember playing that.
Yep. That was great. I was working with John Tobias, half of John Tobias Ed Boon from Mortal Kombat, and it was just it was a treat. I wound up doing something like 4 or 5 different characters by the time the game came out.
Nice.
It was a treat. Yeah. So it was just kind of up and down from there, and then it started getting like very serious in about 04, 05. And the last time I was on stage was like almost 10 years ago now.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
Yeah.
I think
So I was doing theater and whatnot, working in Chicago, doing the whole Chicago actor thing. And then all of that just kind of fell away, and voiceover became the thing.
All right, awesome. Well, all right. Don't mind me. I'm just fiddling with audio levels.
That's all right.
So obviously, Mass Effect Andromeda was a really big release, and everyone was really excited about it. Did you have any experience with the Mass Effect series before you got the part of Scott Ryder?
Oh yeah, I played the entire trilogy, top to bottom.
Awesome. Well, who was your favorite Mass Effect character? That was one of the questions we had from the chat.
Yeah, at that point, besides like female shepherd, which is my shepherd. Rex, heard not Rex.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good choice. That's one of our favorite choices. We just auctioned off a Rex puppet for a lot of money.
Good, yay. Shepherd.
We have
Awesome.
a puppet of Scott Ryder.
Oh,
This is him,
Yeah.
him before the patch.
pre-patch. You got a pre-patch. Good. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks much more normal.
That's good. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Steven, be happy. There you go. Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah, that's post-patch. Definitely. You can see the lighting there. See that? That's great.
How many people, when like you tell them like, oh, I'm the voice actor for a character, how many people also assume that you look like that character?
Nobody just yet. I mean, it's not like been a reveal. It's not like anything that it's only happened like twice that I've run into somebody at something and said, "Oh, that's my character. That's the thing."
Right.
So it's nothing like that. Some people ask, it's like, acting with other people, did you see anybody? And no, like the only other person I saw was Sarah Ryder, which is Frida. And that's because we were friends before we got the job. And then a lot of times they would schedule the two of us on the same day. so that
Okay.
the director would record, just work with Ryder all day, so that we figure something out in the morning, and then Frida gets to use that experience in the afternoon, or vice versa, so that the director and everybody else is just in like Ryder mode all day long for the sense of continuity, and it worked out.
That was
Nice.
a question. That was actually a question from the chat. Is they wanted to know that if who recorded first, you or Frida, and did that affect the speed at which you had to take your lines, or if you had to follow each other's direction, that kind of thing, to make it match up with everybody else's lines, since they have to interact with the writers in the same way.
Yeah, I was cast first for whatever reason, and it's probably because just stuff was in the can. They had some video or whatever. And then not long after that, maybe a month after that, Frida was there. So she caught up just a little bit. I had only had a couple sessions at that point. But then once we were both in there doing it, it depended upon my schedule and her schedule. She's a little more busy than I was. And so it would literally be like one of us in the morning, then the other one in the afternoon, and then flip-flop. So there was some stuff that I had in the can first, other stuff she had in the can first, and only for timing, usually. Frida did it in this amount of time, you got to fit that same timestamp.
Yeah.
Or if we were matching to previously done performance capture, we would have to match to those people. And so if something worked for one of us, we would hear that back and just say, match this, match that. And of course, then the other part is, okay, now I have to run away from Frida's performance.
Yeah.
It's like, don't do that, make this guy very separate. That was something very, very, part of the process from the beginning. But honestly, there were lots of times when I hear what Frida would do and I go, whoa, I never thought about it that way. Her take is so wonderful and different. And I just was like, well, there's no way I'm going to do it that way. Okay. So, find my own take and just do it in the right, in the right time frame. And every now and then there'd be something too where I'd hear Frida's take and I go, yep, that's it. That's right.
That's all you could do.
There's-
Yeah.
There's no other way to do it. Frida got it right, and you just do it that way. You've got to, give props to that and just say, yep, that's how that line goes.
That's how that one goes.
Awesome. So, have you played Andromeda all the way through?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Now, if
Have you started it?
yeah, have you started it?
Yes, I'm a number of hours in, like on Havarl and Vold and a few other places. So the team is together, and I've got a couple, inroads on some of the loyalty missions. But I fell off the bandwagon a little while ago, just for other work and
Right.
other games, and I'm breaking out of it. Zelda, right? Things like that. And then I actually really found myself, because I really enjoy the combat. I'd already dumped like 10 to 15 hours in the multiplayer for Mass Effect.
Right. Absolutely.
That, and because I put my name out on Xbox Live, I would like log in, and every time I logged in, there'd be a small gang. Hey, let's play. Hey, let's play. And you can see some of those exploits out on Twitter or whatever, where it's like, let's go all Krogan, and it did not go well. It's just screenshots of us lying dead, mission over, things like that. Yeah. But it was a good crew. We had some good runs, though, sometimes. But it was all for fun. And half the time I don't have a mic, so they're all like, that's not Scott. That's not Tom. It's just somebody using his account or
Yeah,
something.
this could be a
So,
faker.
So wait, do you play as male or female writer?
I'm playing the game as female rider.
You play as.
Is it weird listening
I-
to your own voice in the game? Is that why, or just you wanted a
It's-
different experience?
Yes, the different experience to hear what Frida did, and to Frida's credit, and I've told her this, playing the game, it ceases to be me listening to my buddy Frida go to work, and it's just Sarah. But there's so much else that kind of takes me out of the experience of the game, and if I had to spend the whole game listening to myself work, because that's what it is. It would be just me going, really, that's the take you chose? That's this? The whole game. I'm better at it now because I'll listen to stuff and I go, oh, yeah, I remember doing that. Or, yeah, that was fun. Or, oh, yeah, that is a good take of that. Things like that. Otherwise, yeah, it ruins the experience of like playing the game. So, yeah, going with Frida. Yeah.
The chat has questions. So
Hey,
they
chat.
want to know, do you from the original trilogy, did you go Paragon or Renegade?
Paragon.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm so alone. No, I got you.
That's
And
awesome.
and they want to know, who do you romance?
That was Liara.
Okay,
So-
she's a good one.
Did you
Paragon, Liara, and Synthesis.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay.
you went
Did,
synthesis.
We made all the same
That's,
choices. Nice
I
job.
also went synthesis. Yes.
yeah. Did you romance Liara throughout all 3 games?
Yes.
Okay.
You in the second?
Hell yeah.
I guess in the
Shout out
DLC.
Tech Shot later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
DLC.
So
Yeah.
awesome. That's really
Nice.
cool. I have to ask this because looking at your IMDb, it was really like I didn't know, and it was really funny. So tell me about Octodad.
Yeah.
Frida doing Octodad.
Yes. Yes. Actually, that's exactly how it works. So, Octodad. So, in Chicago, the DePaul University has an interactive media department, and they made a special deal with SAG-AFTRA, the union, local, to bring in professional actors to work on students' animation and video game projects.
Nice.
And I was really, and you audition, and the students cast based on these auditions. And I had been coming in and doing stuff for the interactive games and animation for 1 or 2 years at that point. They had just started the program, and everybody was really, really cool. And it was fun to do for us and great for the students and working with the students. So I come in, and there's this weird audition for this thing. And they say, hey, we're looking for somebody for these different parts, maybe one guy to do everything, and this octopus. And they had the idea for the game there. And I thought, okay, so what's an octopus sound like? How's this work? And I first thought was, well, octopi have beaks. Okay, that's not going to work. Not clicking, chittering. That's not going to function. Okay, what will function? Okay, how many wet sounds can I make and give them expression? So I made up a bunch of different ways of doing that. Some stuff that I've been doing like since I was a kid, and I'd string them together, and these guys liked it. So I came in, I did that, and Sushi Chef and other characters for their game. And so then, like a year or more down the line, suddenly they say, hey, we're making this a real thing. We're making a real game. And we went back and forth with the union and all sorts of stuff like that. So they brought me in, and I said, hey, you know the woman who played my wife in the original student game? They said, yes. I said, she's at my agency, and she's even better than when you worked with her back in the day. Call her up. So they brought in Ann Sonneville. And then apparently there was some online discussion. And Frida, she's always in on online discussions. And so she was in this back and forth with some game audio people. And they saw her talking to somebody. And they just poked around and looked at her profile and went, oh, she's a voice actor. Oh, we like her demos. And they just emailed her out of nowhere and said, hey, we were lurking and we happened to see her stuff. Sorry about that. Would you, send us some samples of this? And she nailed it. And so she wound up playing, she wound up playing the daughter and everybody else in the game. So through that game, just online, Frida and I knew each other. And then when I was making inroads to moving to Los Angeles, she was like the only person that I knew. So when I stopped out here for a couple different kind of look-sees over the years, I would stop in and Frida and I would, just grab a bite to eat. So we knew each other before then. It was and that game is just has been very special to me. Very, I mean that in like the positives, they are. It's like this little game that could, and it became this huge indie hit, and they were like Octodad was like this Mario of the indie games, there was years ago, there was this little something, I forget where it was, some magazine or something saying, oh, these are the games we're looking forward to on the PlayStation this year. And it was like Watch Dogs and this, that, and there's Octodad. And I'm thinking, this is nuts what these guys are doing with this game. And now it's on everything. You can play it on your phone, for heaven's sake. There's a plushie and T-shirts, and I own most of the T-shirts and 3 plushies, So it's been wonderful, and I can't say enough about the game and the team, Young Horses. It's been a treat. So that was like the first like little thing, that was out there.
That's awesome.
Now, they're asking is it a coincidence that you you guys went on to work on Andromeda together.
Total coincidence.
Oh wow!
That's so
They-
funny.
The folks at BioWare had no idea, and we kind of kept it from them just to make it not weird. And then I think Frida, it was like weird. There's little hints of something, and then one day say, "Do you guys know each other?" And Frida's like, "Yeah, let me tell you a story."
Have you heard of this
And-
big old game called Octodad?
Yeah. And like some of the team had, and some of the team hadn't.
Kind of a big deal.
So yeah, that was something else. And Frida and I have our own little versions of how like we told each other, even though we were under non-disclosure agreements, that we were that we were working on the game. But it basically boils down to she was driving, stuck in traffic on her way home, and I'm sitting in my booth at home, and she had just called me and said, "I'm stuck in traffic. How you doing? Let's talk. This is stupid." So we were chit-chatting back and forth, and it kind of came out that I was working at a studio that she was working at, like the next day, and I had finished off a session at that same studio, and we're like, huh. And we just said, let's play the game. Are we working on the same game? Are you being directed from Canada? Yes. Oh, okay. And then her follow-up was, is the game you're working on a long-running franchise in space? Yes. Okay. And we let it go. So then we just dropped it, saying, you know what, we're under non-disclosure agreement. Let's just let it go, And later on in the conversation, now she says it's me, I say it's her. It doesn't matter. It basically boils down to, one of us is going, hey, okay, I can't deal. Can you keep a secret? Yes, I can keep a secret. I'm the player character in the next Mass Effect game.
Oh my god!
And then there's this beat, and again, from my version, I go, okay, can you keep a secret? I am also the player character in the next Mass Effect game. And then it devolves into about the next 5-10 minutes of just shut up. Shut up. Yeah. It's just this strangest bit of coincidence, and it made it work. I mean, and the folks at BioWare actually thought, hey, maybe we'll have you guys come in to do certain sequences together. It didn't work out that way, but they thought, what can we do? So you guys know each other. So we did the promo videos and things like that, and it just worked out. So that was a really cool part of the experience. Again, I got this gig pretty like kind of scarily soon after moving to California, and to kind of have that outlet, to have Frida to kind of bounce stuff off of when we couldn't talk about the game at all with anybody about anything. Having her kind of share that experience was just a treat, just fantastic to have that outlet.
Awesome. Do we have any more questions from chat?
Yes, so we do.
I'll keep it brief.
Nah.
Question from Jed Ted wants to know, what was your favorite sci-fi franchise before Mass Effect? If it happens to be your favorite. not any judgment, but you do have a favorite.
Well, I adored the Wing Commander games.
Oh wow, yeah, very very nice.
I used to build and upgrade my computer just to play the next Wing Commander game.
Awesome.
And another question is, what is it like to be taking on part of the Mass Effect franchise? How's that feel?
Well, it was intimidating, absolutely. But you got to kind of throw that stuff out and like show up and go to work.
Yeah.
There were certain advantages too, because I knew everything. I'd come in and work with the director, and she would say, so the Quarians are, and then she'd go, oh wait, you're one of us. I don't need to explain this to you. Okay. And so there were lots of little bits of, shorthand that we could work with when discussing, story or plot lines, and we could just kind of get a move on certain things like that. So that was fun.
Awesome.
So I know what you're talking.
We have a very important question. We've asked this of our previous voice actor guests. If you had to take on 100 bee-sized bears or one bear-sized bee, which would you take on? Which would you rather? There's silence.
This is a dumb question.
You know what? The bee-sized bears just sound adorable. They'd probably overrun me and eat me, but I would just be like, "Oh my gosh, they're so cute! Look at this."
We've gotten
The
that one a lot.
bee-sized bears.
The chat is
Bee-sized
one of
bears.
us, one of us.
Awesome. Another question that I've been thinking about is, since obviously you've been doing a lot of video game voice work and you're really passionate about it. If there was one video game series that they said, all right, you get to pick any video game series and you get to be a voice actor in it, what would you want to do? I know it's one of those how do I choose?
Well, somebody asked a little while ago and it's like, is there a company or someplace? And I would love to do some stuff for Blizzard.
Right.
That'd be wonderful. But see, like picking a single game, that's hard. Because there's a lot of great stuff out there. There have been auditions like Horizon Zero Dawn. I'd love to do, the Horizon stuff. That'd be really cool, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, and anything with like that, the full performance capture would be really fun. Because I've done like the facial capture where you go in there and do your voiceover work and they put a stupid helmet on your head and shine an LED in your face and they record all of that as you're, gesticulating like an animal. So I've done that, but yeah, like the full body stuff, that'd be great. Be like a return to the old like theater stuff. But yeah, anything for Blizzard would be great. And I had the realization that for the first time in my life, like the odds of actually being able to work on Star Wars,
that's a real thing now.
it's like, yeah, it's like more plausible than ever.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, than at any time in my working history or in my like living history, it's like, yeah, I could do something related to Star Wars. That'd be great. So maybe that.
All right. So for all those Star Wars scouting, the scouts out there, Tom is available.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Every
really
Boy Scout's
available.
watching our stream right now, just
Yes.
so you know.
There's like a million.
Yeah, they're
Right.
all watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Do we have any more?
Well, I know you haven't finished Andromeda, but they
Yep.
want to know if you have a preferred romance in Andromeda.
I'm probably gonna go with Suvi.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Part of it, I like Katie, like
Yeah.
Katie Townsend, the voice actor.
Great.
We never get to like hang out, but we've been talking about it for months and months because we talk well, and I love hanging out with her when we get to run into each other. But I just really like her work. I like the Suvi character, the kind of way that she thinks and works in the game, and I love that. Some people can say what they want about the writing on different things like that, but I love how awkward that relationship is and starts out.
Yep.
Everybody else, there's something slick to it or something like that going on. That's just awkward
Right.
from the word go, and I thought that was great.
So realistic,
Yeah, that's how it feels. Yeah.
Well, especially everybody's supposed to be like early 20s, but sometimes everybody comes off as being a little bit younger than that. And I think some of that comes from, it's like, well, I'm a geologist. I was a specialist. I studied with Dad in N7 and I'm a science, but nobody like got out.
Yeah.
Everybody was so, steeped in whatever it is that they were doing and then training for the Andromeda Initiative and doing all this other stuff. And then you get out, it's like, oh, I have to deal with people now. This is strange.
Oh no.
So I think that comes into it. And so you get, Uncle Drac and people who actually lived life, and are that way. Like even the doctor, is awkward because she's very much a doctor and scientist, but not a people person.
Right.
As a scientist, can confirm.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think one of my favorite things is you eventually, after you speak to her the first time, I think you can try to hit on her, and she just says something like, "Well, doctor-patient thing probably not going to happen." But then she still
Mhm.
sends you her thesis on basically Krogan Kama Sutra.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's so good.
It's really
Mhm.
good. So Tom, I haven't told the chat about this, but you have I sent you something last week, and you're working on a secret project for us that we're gonna raffle off at the end of the marathon.
What?
Yes.
So why don't you tell the chat what you're working on?
Okay, so I have the Mass Effect Andromeda art book, which you sent me, which is gorgeous, by the way. And I am going to sign it. And I'm in the process of getting anybody and everybody else that I have access to here in the Los Angeles area to also sign it. So, which is not a lot, I'm going to admit. And some people are kind of hard to get a hold of. But so that's me, that's Frida, that's Danielle, Vetra, who is, I know, a huge, yeah, everybody loves Vetra, right? It's true. She's got a huge fan base. I love it. And then Katie. So she is.
So
She's
awesome.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's something else. I finally got to meet her on her last session day, which was the day of the Explorers Wanted contest when the two contest winners came out to do VO2, and Danielle was finishing up stuff, and we'd never seen each other, and it's like big hugs, because we've been hearing each other's work on and off over the past, year or whatever. And actually seeing other voice actors is a rare thing. So much of our stuff is done solo. So it was really great to see her, and she's super cool.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, I wanted to keep that under wraps. So, chat, the more
Oh,
you
cool.
donate, the more chances you get to win the Art of Mass Effect Andromeda signed by some amazing voice actors. So, keep
Me
that.
definitely. Yeah. It may take a little while. May take a little while to get to you, but I will do it. That is like my project. I've already reached out to everybody, and like I've heard back from Danielle. She's like, I'm shooting this on this day, and this is this, but otherwise, like, sheesh. She's busy. These are people that work. I'm so jealous of this cast. They are so. It was such a great group of people to be, even if I didn't get to work with them directly, but be involved with and kind of tangentially work with. They're just amazing actors and voice actors, and so it's been very flattering to be a part of that gang.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. The chat is thanking you for coming out and helping supporting the marathon. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and we thank you so much. This is awesome. Thank you for talking to us.
Yeah, you bet. I'm in a position to help and like do something for the first the first time like ever, and so I'm absolutely happy to help out. Glad I could be here.
I really hope this art book has Scott Ryder in this Blasto shirt. This is such a look.
Can you
Uh,
see this? Yeah, this is.
yes, I see the blast.
Yes, I own
What?
this outfit, okay?
I own this outfit.
It's almost like Gil should have a certain like set of dialogue for when you wear that.
Hey, guns out.
Right. What are you wearing that for? It's terrible.
Like a Gil.
Gil, why would you? It's just not my first pick. All right, Gil.
Well, Tom, thank you so much. I know that you made a lot of fans through this game, and we were just so happy to talk with you for a little bit. And again, thank you so much for supporting the marathon, supporting Child's Play, and giving and eventually giving us an amazing prize that someone here in the chat is going to win. So everybody, thank you, Tom.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. A pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Tom, you have a good one, and we'll talk to you later.
You too. Good luck with the rest of the marathon.
All right, thanks so much.
And you're distracted. And it's over.
What do we got going?